guys, it's Bruticus, and this is the final review of the Combiner Wars Bruticus, putting them all together. So here I have all the individual Combaticons in their respective limb modes and torso mode for Onslaught. And if you missed any of these guys' reviews, and I'll put links down in the description below for my Combiner Wars playlist, you can check that out. But as for this review, here we have all of them in their limb modes, and like I said, I already did reviews, so the transformation I won't show in this video. So you have Swindle and Brawl in leg modes, and you have Blast Off and Vortex in their arm modes, and these can go down. And of course Onslaught back here in the torso mode. So pretty much all you do is you take Onslaught here, and you plug in Swindle on the bottom. You take Brawl, plugging him there as well, and raising up the camera so you can see what I'm doing. You want to flip this piece out, and in this cavity fits the combiner port, just like so, and you just push this back like so. Same thing over here. Plug her in and close this up, and I believe we're finished. There is Combiner Wars Bruticus, who likes to lean forward, and that's one big problem with this toy, is that he leans forward, and there's no real way to fix it without making him look really funky. So I guess there he is, and he looks great. Obviously, he looks just fine. I mean, the head sculpt is great. I'll zoom in here on the head sculpt. So yeah, that's a very nice head sculpt, actually. It's looks very close to the G1 toy. The only thing that I think is different is the helmet's black now, instead of the classic gray or silver or whatever it was. Some people were complaining about how the chest was too plain, but that's kind of how it was on the G1 toy, so I can't really complain. Yeah, it's not perfect. I will go as far to say it's the best combiner in the Combiner Wars series. Of course, you can't really compare that to Devastator, because they're just totally different classes, but I would definitely say out of the deluxe combiners, he is probably the best. Now, I did make one huge mistake in my Onslaught review, and I'll have to get to this later, but or I'll actually do it right now, but his legs do tab in. I was very much wrong about that. What you do is and this is going to be hard to see, and I probably should have done this before I put them all together, but this piece, you slide this up, like so, and then you push this up, and it tabs into place, actually. It does tab in, so that was my mistake, so I apologize for that, and it's really hard to get out, actually, so it's really stiff. So, forgive me, Hasbro, for ripping on you for that, but his Onslaught's legs do tab in, so that's actually really nice. So, I will say Onslaught's definitely the best now. He is a pretty flawless figure. Not flawless, but out of all these figures, he's probably the most flawless. But anyway, my overall opinion of this guy, he's pretty good. I'd give him probably a B-. Like, I give Superion, or I give him a B, and Superion a B-. And so I had a high opinion of Superion if you saw my Superion review. But for Onslaught, or not Onslaught, for Bruticus, he's just a little bit better. Of course, the individual bot modes do have their faults, and that's the one thing that Superion has over Bruticus, is the individuals are probably a bit better than the individuals here. So I guess that is my overall opinion of this Combiner War figure. So overall, I think he's pretty good. He's not great by a long shot, but I think he's pretty good. So for a size comparison, putting Bruticus there, just to get this over with, here he is with a deluxe. Here, this is Alpha Bravo. So again, these guys are totally scaled to be deluxe, so that works like perfectly. So taking off Alpha Bravo, here he is with that Fall of Cybertron Bruticus, and I think I like this one better. Actually, I don't think, I know I like this one better. This wasn't horrible. I mean, it wasn't great, but it wasn't horrible either. But this just brings more bulk than this thing does to the table. So the only thing I'd say this thing has over this is that Brawl is more green. That's about it. He's not really buffy. His arms are kind of disproportionate. I guess his is too, but his are more disproportionate. But overall, this is better. But they're two different styles, so it's really hard to compare them. But overall, I just like this better as a figure. It's put together much better. So taking him off, Here he is with that Combiner Wars Superion figure that I was talking about. And Superion's actually a bit taller, and I was kind of surprised by that. I didn't know that he was going to be a bit taller, but I guess he is, so there you have them together, and they look pretty good, I have to say. I didn't think that Bruticus was going to be shorter, but I guess he is, so there you have that. And like I said, Superion is... dog hairs. Superion is not a bad figure, but I think overall he just kind of looks more like Bruticus than he looks like Superion overall. They're both really good figures for a low budget, I'd say. Well, not a low budget because these things are like $100, but if you want to get those third-party figures, then by all means go for it, but this is a great, great alternative, I'd have to say. So taking off Superion, and here he is with Combiner Wars Devastator. Obviously not meant to scale at all. He's like half his height, so that will not work in your Combiner Wars display very well. I put that Devastator almost with my Masterpiece collection because he's so big. So, are we done? No, we have one more comparison just in case. Someone's probably going to want to see this. Here he is with Masterpiece Prime. So, obviously, not even close. Not even relevant, really, but I'm sure someone wants to see that. So, putting Prime off to the side. Yeah, I think that's about it. Overall, like I said, he's a pretty good figure. I would recommend picking him up. He's probably the best of the Combiner Wars series, the deluxes anyway. I can talk. But, like, in my opinion, I think my favorite Combiner Wars figure is Devastator. But, obviously, they're not meant to scale with each other at all. I'm sick, so I got an excuse. They're not meant to scale with each other at all, but for the deluxe combiners, he's the best, I have to say. So, I think that's about it. Oh, articulation. His head is on a ball joint, so he does get some head tiltage. He has a theoretically full 360. It's kind of tough, though. He can rotate the full 360. He can go out at the shoulder. He can do kind of a double hinge. And with this, you can pretty much do whatever you want. I've seen some people do this. I like to leave it like this, but you can really do whatever you want with that. You can rotate the wrist. You can move the thumb up and down. You can move the fingers, and that's about it. There's no waist rotation. You have to move up his crotch plate to accommodate the legs, and they're on heavy ratchets, and they do can stick pretty well, except it doesn't really hold up the figure. So it goes all the way back. It goes in and out on kind of a soft ratchet. It does rotate up here. It rotates at the knee as well on a ratchet. It has 90 of movement at the knee, and you can rotate the feet. And that's about it for articulation. So, again, he's kind of a bigger figure, so articulation is not going to be excellent. It's pretty good, though, still. It is hard to get him in some poses, though. I will say I've tried it. It doesn't work out very well. But I just have him standing up straight because that's how good old Bruticus does it. So, I think that's all I have to say about Bruticus. So, if you want to get this guy, I'll put a link down in the video description down below. You can click it and get him at Big Bad Toy Store because that's where I got him. And, I believe, I can't remember, the last time I checked, the only way you could get Onslaught is if you got Scattershot too. Scattershot was a good figure. I did have to get Scattershot. I did sell him right away though, so I didn't really review him. But from what I saw, he looked pretty good. So I'm not sure if they're still doing that, but you can always check it out. I know that the pack for all these other guys are like the 4 limbs are in one pack. It's like $65, so I think that's a pretty good deal, so that's what I went for. And if you missed any of the reviews, again, like I said earlier in the review, then I'll put a link there for the My Combiner Wars playlist. You can check that out. And if you also want to see any of my other Transformers reviews, feel free to roam my channel. So this is Fuber Dudes saying, keep playing, guys.